West Denver. Sleep deprived and heavily caffeinated.
All right, let's do this then.
This is the Jeff and Bill Show.
I don't agree with that.
They don't always agree, but hey, at least they have coffee.
Coffee.
And each other.
I love you, man.
God help us.
I want to bless him. We need all the help we can get.
Now here's Jeff Hunt and Bill Thorpe. The Jeff and Bill Show on News Talk 710 KNUS.
Good morning, everyone. Peter Boyles in for the guys. They'll be here on Monday. I have tomorrow, and then I have our own show on Saturday mornings, and then Billy and Jeff are back in the saddle on Monday. This is good old 710 KNUS. We are a Denver stock station. The weather's beauty, 82 the high today, 75 Friday, and on Saturday, 78. Blake Olson in the Blake Olson other side of the wall. You know, look what you started this morning. I said, where is he? See what you started this morning?
Yes.
Boy.
Oh,
I had this
man.
whole thing's going to be unicorns and get around
and
you.
then you went to Choice.
Then you. What was her first name, the girl you kissed?
All right. Her name was June, and she was awesome. You know, that messed me up for
The rest
years.
of your life.
Yes. Because I think she dumped me like 5 days later. You know?
Oh.
It just killed me, man.
Is there anything worse than heartache? Getting your heart broke.
No. I will never, ever. I mean,
Again.
Our oldest is 25, and every time she goes through this type of thing, I'm like, I get it. I feel it. It is horrible, man.
But what
No doubt.
The crux of all of this is you did not have a choice day, neither did I.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I agree with you.
And
Absolutely.
so to take somebody that you can, I don't know, put light bulbs in their ears and make them straight it's pseudoscience. It's ridiculous. Having said those things, who was your girlfriend in high school? I didn't have one.
Oh, yeah, I had two.
Two?
I had two, yeah. Well, at different times.
Two? You're a polygamist. Where'd you meet the lovely Mrs. Olson? Where did you?
Oh, I met her in South Florida.
See?
So, yeah. She was literally walking in front of me. I was at a stop sign. I was on vacation, and she walked in front of me, and I went on the crosswalk, and I was like,
how cool is that?
Oh my God, that is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life.
What was the approach?
Desperation. I said, hey, listen, I know you think I'm crazy, but I don't think
wait.
I've seen. Yeah, but wait.
Yeah?
Do you have a ring on your finger? Okay, no, you don't.
Right.
And I think you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. And
That's strong.
Yeah, man. I didn't care because she was incredible.
Wow.
Well, all she had to say was no, and it wasn't 2015, so she couldn't call the police and get me arrested for harassment.
Were you in the business? Were you working in the business?
I was I was working at Channel 2 at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I had a little vacation. And what's funny about it, it was right after, it was so cool. It was a great week because Coach Shanahan, I was covering the Broncos at the time, and I asked Coach Shanahan, I said, hey, Coach, can I come to your office on a late Sunday night? I want to show people how you work late at night, and you're in the office late. So he called me, and I was like blown away. He's like, hey, this is Coach. You can come over tonight. This is like on a Sunday night.
Man.
And it was like 9:30 at night, and I had to throw everything down. And we got shots of him up until midnight.
Now, did you go to his house or did you go to the Broncos?
No, to the office.
Okay.
And I wanted to show, hey, the light stays on. Yeah. And so anyway, shortly thereafter, after that exciting week, I met my wife in South Florida. I was on vacation. So, and it was just, I was like, man, this is a great week. And then I think,
And you talked her into coming back here with you?
Yes, I begged her.
I love it.
I begged her, man, and she did. Thank God.
Ooh.
And her parents.
I was going to ask.
Her parents are from the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So they came here legally to New York in the 60s, in the late 50s
Sure.
and 60s, right? So she spent a lot of time in DR. So they're, when they first met me, they're like, "Wow, okay, gringo
Wow.
time,"
Oh, yeah.
and it was cool. It's been great, man. It's been great. Great in-laws.
I didn't know she
Yeah.
was from the DR.
Yeah, she's from DR. Yeah, absolutely. She went to middle school there. They moved back for a year because the schools in New York were a little bit, and she could go to Catholic school in DR, and went back and forth. And here's the amazing thing. My father-in-law drove a cab in New York for 35 years.
Wow.
Stories, man.
Well, those guys they're just tough.
Yeah, he had the medallion and everything.
Oh, man.
He was tough, and the stories he has told me, and he's still kicking. He's 93, still kicking.
Don't talk about this often, but Kenny Danon, and I know you know Kenny.
Oh yeah, Kenny.
Kenny and I went to Haiti after the quake and did a radio. We were in Haiti doing radio shows, and that's the other side of the island, of course.
Yep,
And,
sure is.
And the DR's on. It's
sure is.
and so, but
Separated by a wall,
a wall,
a fence,
a fence.
Oh man, we could get into this.
No, when
but that
people
is-
when people say those don't work, I show you one.
yeah, thank you.
There's one between the two Koreas. That one works.
Yep, that one worked.
No, they
Yeah.
work. They work.
Yeah, they work very well. If you took a drone over Haiti and DR, just right at the border,
it changes.
night and day. It is just incredible, and people, Haitians, think they've gone to heaven when they go to DR, and that's a third world country.
I totally agree with that. But I didn't know that story. That's now.
Yeah.
Do you think somebody could have said, it's time for you to be gay and leave this woman alone? All right.
All right, man.
Here's the news.
All right, here we go. All
right.
right, it's 48 and clear in Denver, expecting a high of 81 today. This portion of the news sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story.
Make no mistake, it looks like President Trump has actually pulled off something here that many presidents before him have failed to do.
The Israeli cabinet set to vote this morning on DJT's plan to end the war in Gaza. 47 said Wednesday that Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of the plan. The president is reportedly considering a trip to Egypt this weekend to participate in the next stage of the negotiations that are currently underway.
Well, I develop relationships with people, and sometimes those relationships lead to great things. And in the case of many of the Arab nations, the wealthiest nations in the world, if you look, although with what we've done in the United States, I think we top everybody by a lot.
And former press secretary Ari Fleischer breaks it down well.
Well, what's truly remarkable about this is previous breakthroughs existed between Israel and unique nations, Israel and Egypt, Israel and Jordan. Then you had the Abraham Accords expanding it to a wider group of nations, Bahrain, the UAE. But never before have you had an agreement with Hamas, eight Muslim nations, 7 Arab, 1 nation, Turkey, Muslim nation, Israel, and the United States. That is the breakthrough here. From a humane point of view, it is wonderful and joyous that the hostages will come home. Families can finally, at long last, be reunited. But there are 2 big steps that remain, and those steps are the disarmament of Hamas and Hamas relinquishing control and power. Those 2 are going to be the trickiest ones yet.
And Senator Tommy Tuberville, pushing to ban Sharia law nationwide, calls out the genocide of Christians by Muslims.
And just this year alone, more than 7,000 Nigerian Christians have been murdered because of their faith alone. You can't turn on the TV without hearing about Israel's so-called mass genocide of Palestinians every day. And yet when it comes to 62,000 Christians being slaughtered by radical Muslims, it's radio silence. This extreme ideology is straight from the pit of hell, and it has no place in American society.
White House officials confirming that an angry post DJT fired off at AG Pam Bondi last month was meant to be private. The post on Truth Social complained that nothing is being done about prosecuting Trump's opponents. On Wednesday, the Wall Street Journal reported that 47 posted the message by mistake. James Comey was arraigned on Wednesday, as you probably already know. Day 9 of the partial government shutdown. Mike Lawler, Republican from New York, got into it with Hakeem Jeffries to debate that the left does not want what the people want, and they're preventing this thing from moving forward. Thus, we have the partial shutdown. Even CNN knows the truth, and Nancy Pelosi a little bit bewildered here. Dana Bash.
I understand what you're saying about where the differences are, and they are very big. They are voting yes on what we say here in Washington, a clean CR, a bill to keep the government running for 7 weeks, and Democrats are voting no, and for the reasons you just said. So how are they shutting down the government?
First of all, it isn't a clean CR.
Okay.
So let's not stipulate to that. It's not a clean CR.
What do they have in
it's
it?
going into that. The point is,
and she didn't know what the point was for about 5 or 6 seconds, but a little bit bewildered there. The Broncos are in love. They're in London prepping for the Sunday morning game against the Jets. Day 2 of preparation on the field today. Blue Jays advanced to the ALCS following a 5-2 victory over the Yankees. 44 in Castle Rock, 46 in Aurora, 48 in Denver. Jeff and Billy continue, and Pete is in for Jeff and Billy today and tomorrow. Blake Olson, News Talk 710 KNUS.
Your KNUS forecast for the Denver metro area calls for a cool and quiet start to this Thursday. Temps above average and near 50 degrees this morning. Highs well above average. Back to the low to mid 80s. Overall sunny and dry. Lows mid 50s. Increased cloud cover for your Friday and Saturday. Thanks to subtropical moisture moving the region. Mid to upper 70s for highs. Mid 50s for lows. Weather is a service of L&L Heating and Air Conditioning. For quick, trustworthy, and dependable service, call L&L Heating and Air Conditioning at 720-851-1691. Visit them online at bestdenverhvac.com. That's bestdenverhvac.com. You'll be comfortable with L&L. I'm meteorologist Mark Huer in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
I get to work. Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, the second hour, October 9, 2025. I'm Peter Boyles. Jeff and Billy are off. The guys will be back next week. 82 the high today, 75 on Friday, and Saturday, 78 degrees. Really hot first hour talking about conversion therapy. But I want to bring this man on because there is so much happening behind the scenes in the state of Colorado Republican Party that will doom it for at least another 4 to 6 years. Please say good morning. Welcome back. He is a friend, and nobody's neutral. Perhaps I should say nobody's neutral about either one of us. Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Wadhams. Thank you, sir. Good morning, and welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Pete. I'm glad to be in your company.
Yeah, well, that's kind. That's, what did they say? Begin at the beginning. That's what they said in Alice in Wonderland. First of all, I was blown away that the Boulder County Republican Lincoln Day dinner is bringing in my close personal friend John Eastman to be the keynote. It's laughable. He's been disbarred, or he has given up his license to practice law. He goes down. He's been indicted. All this different stuff. He clearly was one of the focuses, or one of the forces, and to focus everybody on the lies of the second Trump election. And these guys, whoever they are bringing the guy in to be the keynote. Speak to that first, if you would.
Peter, there's a huge number of Republican activists who continue to want to relitigate the 2020 election, where they allege that the election was stolen from Donald Trump, not only nationally but here in Colorado. And of course, John Eastman was on the forefront of that when he advised President Trump that Vice President Pence could reverse the results of the Electoral College. And so he's kind of a folk hero to the people who advocate that the election was stolen. And I guess I was surprised, but not surprised, when I read that the Boulder County Republicans are having him as their keynote speaker. And they cannot let loose of this. They cannot focus on what really matters. What is really bad, Peter, they cannot focus on what the Colorado electorate is today. It is an electorate that is 50% unaffiliated, and the vast majority of those unaffiliated voters do not like Donald Trump, and they sure don't want to hear that the election was stolen from Donald Trump. I mean, you mentioned that the party might be set back another 4 to 6 years. Boy, I agree with you. That's probably a very modest assessment, frankly.
I think it's interesting. I was a target of Mr. Eastman's friends. I don't know if I was a target of Mr. Eastman, but he wasn't happy with me and hung up. But the entire insanity of watching the big media outlets pay off, including the one I'm sitting in, for telling, and the lies that were told, and the people that slunk off into the middle of the night after really literally destroying a radio station. And in the middle of all of that was John Eastman. And so, and Eastman, I was reading last night, I think he's voluntarily turned in his license to practice law in California. He has been publicly named. He's under indictment. He's like sort of a Rudolph Giuliani character. And yet, what brain surgeon in Boulder decided to bring him in, and of all people, to speak at the Lincoln Day dinner? I mean, that's beauty.
Pete, and it's not just Boulder County. You can find this all over the Colorado Republican Party in every corner of our state. They want to continue to fight over whether the election was stolen, because they fervently believe it was. They believe Dominion stole the election here in Colorado.
Ask this radio station.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people that slunk off after 4 people that I knew and really had respect for lost their jobs last week here at this radio station, because they got to pay somehow. You got to pay, and I've heard different numbers, but they were in the millions. And Eastman was he was a guest on this show with me. He hung up on me. With the others, he received gratification. So, he was told that he was the brilliant man. And it was the same thing with Joel Oltmann and the rest of these characters. But the people who did the dirty work have slid away. And they've taken down with them a lot of really decent people. So Eastman is now coming into town. I'm sure he'll get paid. And I don't know what they're thinking. But that's just it. They're not.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, it's there is so much to talk about in this election cycle. The Democrats are finally being held accountable by the electorate for their failed policies that are driving the state into the ground. There is so much to talk about. Recent polling shows that Polis, Hickenlooper, and Bennett are all upside down in their approval.
Absolutely.
There's all so much to talk about, Peter. And what's Boulder County doing? They're talking about the stolen election of 2020.
I got you.
You betcha.
One better. Tina Peters' lawyer. Now,
yes,
they're bringing him in to speak at is it in Weld County? Where are they bringing in Tina Peters' mouthpiece?
The Longmont Republican women apparently are asking Tina Peters' lawyer to speak to them. Yes. Yes. And that's another loser issue.
Yes.
I mean, to push this issue that she should be pardoned and released is well, and of course the president does that too. But that's another loser issue that it will set the party back with unaffiliated voters.
She was in the Republican Party. She was still is, I'm sure, county clerk in Mesa County, and she campaigned on a platform calling for all these improved services and the rest of the nonsense. But what did she do? She was convicted, Colorado State Court, on 7 charges, 4 felonies related to unauthorized access to election machines, and was sentenced to 9 years incarceration. She tried to do the same thing that, in essence, that John Eastman was doing, overthrow the election, a legitimate election. So they bring her lawyer in, and then they bring him in, and they're going to say, gee, the average middle-of-the-road voter is going to rush to our party and cast his or her ballot. Dick, it's insane. It's insane. And
yeah, and
go on, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say, then comes the true whammo showstopper, the get-together. All the boys, in, like the Colorado Republican State Convention. Now, you watched it. I didn't see it. I heard about it. What a show that must have been.
Yeah, Peter, the Colorado Republican State Central Committee met on September 27th. It's about 500 party leaders from every county, elected officials like state legislators and Board of Education, district attorneys. And they met that day, and they met specifically to decide whether to opt out, is the term, of the 2026 Republican primary. In other words, and have nominations done solely through the caucus assembly process. Now, the real impact of such a vote, if it had been successful, would have been to tell 900,000 registered Republicans you cannot vote in a Republican primary.
And all the unaffiliates,
and 2 million unaffiliated voters that they couldn't vote in the Republican primary. And rather than having that, 4,000 or so Republican activists would make the decision. Now, you know, I remember back when I was chairman, I was accused of trying to have backdoor meetings, trying to decide who the candidates would be, which I did not. We had an open process for the primary. But isn't it amazing? The same people who were claiming backdoor deals are wanting to disenfranchise literally 3 million voters from voting in the primary and consolidating power in 4,000 activists. That's what they wanted to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they had a convention that friends of mine attended, and it was totally off the leash from the beginning of the meeting to the end of it. And I mean, for people to think that you're going to allow a handful of these people to determine who you get to vote for or not vote for. And it's like, I don't know. All these things have been played out through history again and again and again and again. So when they lose again, and they will, and I love what you said. I mean, the Democratic Party in Colorado is on its ear right now. And when there's a line that I mentioned earlier that comes from discussing Palestinian history, and the Palestinian historians who say the Palestinians never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. The Republican Party of the state of Colorado never misses an opportunity to miss an opportunity.
True.
True. It's really true. So now what? They bring in, I mean, it's unbelievable to bring in John Eastman to speak at the Lincoln Day dinner in Boulder. Then they bring in Tina Peters' lawyer, and then they try and knock millions of people out of the box to vote. Now, where's this party going?
It's not it's not going anywhere.
No, it's not.
Approach, Peter. Believe me.
No, it's not. No.
It's sad. Dave Williams is no longer state chairman. Britta Horn is new chair. She's trying to restore some respectability and credibility back to the party. But it's kind of hard to do that when you have all this stuff going on.
Well, having said those things, you've covered it well, and it'll just get worse, and it's pending.
Yeah.
It's pending.
We'll see what happens.
Well, that's right. You and I start buying some tickets. I got to tell you how nasty this is getting. I got to find this. Come on, where is it? It was me. I've agreed to speak at this group, and these people are all upset. How much money am I getting? It's not getting anything. I'm doing it for free. I got to find it so I can read it to you, but it's around someplace. Let me see. Hang on, because I got to read it to you. Here it is. Peter, Jefferson County is having you as their now or never luncheon. Are they paying you? No, they're not. I was asked if I would do this, and I did it. This is a funny story. I did it back a number of years ago at the height of all this Trump won crap. And Tancredo invites me to come to, this is a true story, invites me to the Jefferson County Republican Men's Club or something. These are not happy people with me. And so another radio talk show host comes in the side door, sits down at the table, and starts taking notes about what I'm saying. I swear to God. And I went, hey, man, move over here. You get closer. And some guy in the back, and they're all yelling at me. And I said to Tancredo, who I adore, I said, Tommy, he said, well, I didn't think you'd show up. So here I am again, and are they paying you? No.
Wow.
No. But that's what we've gotten to. Did they pay you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
But
yeah.
I'm going to go. I was asked by a friend, would you come and do this?
Sure.
And we'll see what happens. Last time it got pretty intense. But hey, no guts, no glory, right?
No, that's true. Well, unfortunately, those folks that believe the election was stolen still have a big role in the party.
They're doing it right now.
Yeah, you bet.
And watching this radio station cough up the money that it did, watching OEN, watching Newsmax, watching Fox. Now here comes Smartmatic with their lawyers asking for even more money. They're putting people out of business because the management allowed the lies to be told.
Yeah,
that's the truth. Well,
It did, and that's sad because KNUS has been a great station, and
hopefully still is.
Has been a great network.
Hopefully still is, but boy, they took it.
I know.
And when the book is written and when the truth is found to be lies. All right, sir. Have a great weekend. Thanks for doing it, Dick.
Thank you, Peter.
Dick Wadhams, everybody. Okay. Are you being paid? I wish. Ride my sickle out there. We got a minute, so I don't even want to start reading these. People were very upset. And we're talking about a number of different things, including, most significantly, is conversion therapy. And I want to know if they can take a 12-year-old boy and make him straight, can they take a 12-year-old straight boy and make him gay? Could they take me, some old beat-up man, and convert me? Could I become an old beat-up gay man? Have to be. This works according to, and it's pseudoscience, everyone. But if what they say is true, then they should be able to take, and really it's 1984. It's Winston Smith. Put the rats on your face, and not only do you know that 2 and 2 is 5, you believe it, as Winston Smith ran from the Ministry of Love. Back after this. Hey, everybody. Good morning. It is a Thursday, the 9th of October, 2025. I'm Peter Boyles in for the fellows, 303-696-1971. I'm here today, tomorrow, and Saturday, making your day. Well, why don't we do this? By the way, it's going to be 82 for a high, 75 on Friday, and 78 on Saturday. Let me read you the series of text messaging. I feel like I'm over there working for iHeart. Don't take a call, read a text. Let's see. What nameless people did KNUS fire? It's not your business, but know that they were. And that's their lives, not for me to give them up, but for no reason they were let go, and they were good employees. Hey, Peter, this is really like the stupidest text of the day. When was your choice to become alcoholic? You're a fool. Alcoholism is not a disease. Then every treatment center in the world, every alcohol hospital, every program leads with, this is a disease. My disease wants to kill me. That's the job. It's a choice. No, it isn't. You're an idiot. I don't want to go any further. It is a choice, not a disease. And then he goes into conversion therapy. You're a fool. You're a total fool. I hope it never happens to you or your family. Let's go. That's some of these things I just can't, literally can't. I can't do that one. Did you guys notice there's a county in Northern California that is trying to go back to masks? Okay, I'll read it. Mr. Boyles, this is why I don't get it. This is why she is before the SCOTUS Supreme Court. What? Because she is being threatened with loss of license by saying it could be a phase, not physical action. Colorado has said that even stating this is the same as aversion therapy. And yes, I'm aware of what they do. Well, that's what I'm saying to you when I said earlier the court could not make up its mind what this is. One of the guys on here normally thinks people should vote against abolition of conversion therapy because it might somehow someone to transition to another gender. That's ridiculous. And yes, I have a heart. Okay. All right. A couple more of these. I won't read that one. Pete, therapeutic techniques and shaming and hazardous practices like rebirthing are so bad, but I'm not risking my well-earned license potentially saying that things are now illegal. Compelled speech. The Supreme Court is not about converting attraction someone to the same sex. It's about repairing minors, changing their... No, it's not. Anyhow, that's enough. 303-696-1971. We're talking about the Supreme Court and conversion therapy for minors. Now, if you're past the age of 18, you know, hey, as my father would say, it's your mouth. You can haul coal in it if you want to. But if you're worried about, you have your 12-year-old son who has all the signs, and you haul him off to some place, and you can read about him. I mean, just, for heaven's sakes, never take the word of a talk show host. Certainly not me. But go and read what this conversion therapy does and how they do it and what they do to these kids. And it's been outlawed. I mean, in most of the world and a number of the states of the Union have outlawed it. And it's pseudoscience. And it's attempts to change some young kid's sexual orientation or his or her romantic orientation, or to align I don't know, with the other side. And the current evidence-based medicine, clinical guidance, it used to be, by the way, until the first part of the 70s, homosexuality was like this idiot on alcoholism was a mental disease. No, he thinks it was a choice. Conversion therapy consists of methods that involved, but are not limited to, aversion therapy, brain surgery, chemical castration, surgical castration, hypnosis, psychoanalysis. They have something called corrective rape. Various religious practices include prayer and exorcism. You imagine taking a 12-year-old kid in there. Now, you may believe that the demon is in his body. He's already scared to death, and you bring him in there, and some guy starts speaking in tongues and driving a demon out. What must that do to that kid who may be gay? He's already now, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. If you read the medical professionals, and they consider conversion therapy is a misnomer. It does not constitute a legitimate form of therapy. Alternative terms. Now, if this therapist wins because, it's about speech, then what will they do if it's considered green light? It's what lies beneath it. You that stupid to think that, it's just about her right to say it. I heard that on radio shows for 4 days. I said, what happens when they're allowed to do it? And you can read this stuff. I'm not making it up. They invent stuff. There was a guy named Richard Fitzgibbons. And Fitzy is apparently a big deal in this movement. And he came up with a term called same-sex attraction disorder. And they called it, listen to this, SAD. Now, there's an acronym from a very powerful source. Same-sex attraction disorder, sometimes known as same-sex attraction disorder, SAD. And they did this when the kid got killed. It's despicable. It just really is. And you do what you want to do. 303-696-1971. I want to know when your choice day was. And I want to know, do you think that these people could make you gay? Because it has to work both ways. Right? For every action, there's an equal reaction. It's one of the great laws of the universe. If there's an up, there's a down. If there's a left, there's a right. If there's a positive, there's a negative. If it works here, it works there. So, tell me the truth. Hand in the air. 303-696-1971. Do you think when you were 12 years old, 13 years old, the age of awareness, I'd kissed this girl, I thought the whole world changed. I thought that was bingo. Hold your cards. I think we might have a bingo. B12. Hold your cards. Do you think that they could have made me gay? You think I could have made you gay? That's what you're talking about here. It isn't so much about her free speech and parental rights and standing up to the man. No, it isn't about that at all. And I'm no Jared Polis fan. I don't care. What? You can't do this to your kids. They're going to be gay. I know tons of gay. I have great gay friends. They knew they were gay when they were knee-high to a gopher. They knew they were gay. They didn't know what to call it, but they knew. So take one of those little intelligent little kids and jam them in there with Pastor you-know-what for brains who are going to exercise them to get the demon out of them. What kind of nonsense is that in the year 2025? So conversion therapy, This case now in front of the Supreme Court. October, the Supreme Court is currently considering the case Childs versus Salazar. And it's a direct challenge to Colorado law. And the parties in the case involve this Christian therapist from Colorado Springs and Colorado's AG. And I don't know. The stuff I listen to on talk radio, I've heard a lot of stupid on talk radio. But this is like world-class stupid. So this is not Masterpiece Bakery versus those crazy people. This is all right. So what is conversion therapy? Oh boy. And I've been reading about it all week. All I want you to tell me, 303-696-1971. Tell me when your choice day was, because you got to believe that this young burgeoning homosexual, he has a choice day. That's a choice. That's like alcohol. It's a choice. You're a fool. You know nothing about it, and you shoot your mouth off. Do you think that you had a choice? Tell me your choice day. I want to know your choice day. When you said, do I want to kiss boys or do I want to kiss girls? And it goes either way. For women in the audience, when was your choice day? To men in the audience, when was your choice day? I didn't have one. Did I get screwed out of something? When I kissed Judy Bellin behind the backstop, was it Satan that did that to me? So I didn't have a choice? The hell's a wrong? I mean, tell me. tell me. Well, Peter, it was my choice day, and I just want to know it. And so, do you think they could make you gay? Oh, look at my grandson. He's quarterbacking his football team. He's a tough kid. He skis. Do you think you could turn that kid gay? Boom, boom. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with talk radio? 82 the high today. Don't let me have a microphone again. It's like, if I'm not here tomorrow, you'll know why. 303-696-1971. Come on, no guts, no glory. Tell me about your choice day when you could have been a runoff with a guy or with that girl. Thank you, Mikey. We have a line open, and it's a Thursday, and I'm Peter Boyles, and I got tomorrow and Saturday, and made a running gag, maybe. 82 will be the high, 75 Friday, and Saturday, 78 degrees. With a line open, we go to Morrison. This is Ben. Ben, thanks. You're on the show.
Yeah. Hey, Peter. How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, really well. Thanks.
Yeah, it's definitely not a choice. I mean, I remember when I was in middle school and was coming up, and The Fifth Element was a movie that came out, and I was not looking at Bruce Willis. I was looking at Mila Jovovich the entire time.
Bingo. Bingo.
And if it was a choice, I would have probably hopped on that boat a while ago, because I have some friends that I had never get in fights with that are guys, and just was like, hey, do you want to be sexually attracted to each other? We never get into altercations, never have any problems. Like, this would be great if we could just be sexually attracted to each other, right?
Why does a gay kid have to have a choice and you don't?
They're just born that way. They're born gay. It is what it is.
Thank you.
And this conversion theory, what it is it's honestly, it's almost a form of child abuse.
Well, it is child abuse.
If you're a parent and you're bringing your kids into this stuff.
But it's parents. The parents are generally conservative Christian, Jewish, and or Muslims. That's what the literature suggests.
My next door neighbor growing up, I was roommates with his older sister, and he ended up coming out, and he grew up in a very conservative Christian household. And fortunately, his parents were pretty accepting of him. And you know what? He's out in New York now. He's got a husband. He's successful. He's happy. And I've seen it go the other way, too, with some other people that I've grown up with that were gay, and they repressed it. One of them got married to a woman, and then eventually had to come out later and tell her that he was gay after he had a couple kids with her. And it causes, way more damage, way more heartache, way more problems than just accepting, who you are.
I mean, if
you're born gay, you're gay.
Bingo. I've been listening to so much nonsense on talk radio, and I've been reading. I read it, big deal. I get to read at night. But you can read conversion therapy and the great sadness that comes out of it, and the different techniques that are used. I mean, when it's performed, conversion therapy, first of all, it's fraudulent. But when performed on minors, it really is, as you say, a form of child abuse. It's been described by experts as torture, cruel, inhuman, degrading, contrary to human rights. Around the world, countries in Europe, parts of Asia even, they've outlawed it. They say no. It's the professionals, the physicians consider conversion therapy a misnomer.
Yeah, and the reason that it should be, probably, this isn't a free speech issue, is you start increasing rates of suicide with people. It's a form of harm towards people, and you're from a medical professional.
If I hear one more person on the radio, another battle for the rights of parents, would you quit? Walk away, read something, take a hike. Like I said, tune in tomorrow morning see if I'm here at 6. Take care. All right, everybody, we got to turn around, and we're right back.